It is the ColourPop lip pencil, which I don't know the name of, but it's the hot pink one. And then this is Carmella, and it's I think it's called a lippy stick, but it's kind of rubbed off there, so I wouldn't bet money on it. And then Burt's Bees, but basically everything is kind of the same undertone of pink, so. You're from France? Bonjour! My boyfriend's learning French right now. And what have I learned? Not much. I'm trying, but I just get distracted. I'm trying to think. Where you will get kicked in the pants if you're looking through any peepholes or anything. What do you mean by that? Well, my zodiac sign, well, I don't know if the eyeballs give me away, but I am a Pisces. I've noticed that most Pisces, we kind of look like fish. And I'm okay with that. I had a friend once tell me I look like Cleo from Pinocchio, you know, the little orange fish. And it's like, and I could see that. Oh, thanks. Yeah, well, a lot of Pisces have big eyes. Haven't you noticed? I mean, I feel like it's funny how people kind of look like their zodiac signs to some extent. A Gemini? No. You want me to sing No Doubt? You think I can sing No Doubt? I cannot. I don't know if you can tell, but this voice is not like that. Sorry, I'm trying to... Future projects. Yes, I'm working on a video for YouTube and a commercial for the coffee collab I did. Those are coming up. Hopefully, they're going to take a little while, but I'm excited about them. What else? It's all that's really front and center for me right now. My boyfriend is not passionate about the 60s, 70s, any of that really. He's passionate about me though. I mean, he's kind of in the same boat where I've showed him a lot of vintage stuff that he really likes, but I don't think that either of us are like necessarily obsessed with the era specifically. It's more that things from that era tend to align with our taste. Does that make sense? Like, I think a lot of people think, and there are some people like this, and it's no hate to them, I'm just not one of them, but you know, there's people that are like, I have to have everything vintage and I live like it's 1950 or whatever. I don't do that at all. Because to me it's like the clothes I think suit me better, and are better made and more feminine in my taste. I like the films better. I just, you know, but I also like, you know, like the romantic period of art, or, you know, paintings from the Renaissance. That doesn't mean I'm trying to live like I'm in the Renaissance, you know? So yeah, I mean, I understand the confusion. If you're just like kind of more up with the modern trends, you probably see me and be like, what is wrong with her? But truthfully, it's just my taste. Do you know what I mean? It's like anything else. Like if I was goth or something, it's just my taste. But I've always been this way. It's so funny looking back at stuff and being like, well, there it is. So thank you. When I start doing this style, well, so growing up, I was always drawn to vintage things. Like I remember being like 13 and my mom had a sewing machine. I wanted to learn how to sew, and the only garment I ended up making was like a 1950s yellow polka dot dress. And at the time, that was kind of a one-off, but it's funny looking back and being like, even then I really liked the pinup look. I didn't have the internet or I didn't use it really to look up things or anything. I just kind of had a general interest in pinups and Betty Boop and, you know, girly things like that. I think the first time I really dressed vintage on purpose, and it wasn't just because I shopped at the Goodwill for clothes, was my mom took me to a little vintage shop. She's obsessed with the 80s. She like misses the 80s. That was her era for fashion. And I tried on high-waisted pants for the first time, and it was like my brain chemistry changed because I realized, oh, there's nothing wrong with me. I just have hips. I thought that this was like fat or something that I was holding in a weird place, and then I didn't realize, oh, those are hips. Like, I have hips. And then my high school or middle school boyfriend, his mom took us to the mall, and they put me in this, she like loved to play dress up with me because I kind of had a woman's body really young, so for better or for worse, she's like, let's put you in fun clothes. And she got me, well, she didn't get it for me, but we went and tried on at Black House White Market. I just remember so vividly being like, this is so out of my price range, but I want to try everything on. And she put me in this dress that was, you know, full at the bust, nipped in at the waist, and had hip room. And I never had clothes fit me like that because, you know, I shopped at Goodwill or Forever 21 or something. But putting on a dress like that feeling, I remember being so sad I couldn't get it. It was $80, I still remember. And I would like go back and look for it later and it would be gone, but I just remember that feeling of like, wow. Oh, so there's nothing wrong, because at the time, you know, the ideal body type was very thin. Sorry, I have to verify the live, sorry. But the ideal body type was very thin, and I never was very thin. I was very curvy, very young. So, yeah, I think I started being aware of the vintage silhouette and everything maybe in like 8th grade or so. And then in high school, I really loved high-waisted shorts. There's lots of like gateways into more vintage dressing, but I remember I wore this is kind of bad, but I wore this, I still have the dress, this black with a square spaghetti strap dress with a square neckline and fitted through the bodice. I wore that to church camp, and I remember thinking, watch out. Church camp, lots of people were flirting at church camp, you'd be surprised. But that was kind of a vintage dress now that I look back on it. So I think I've always had a proclivity towards it, and like I said, there was a drag queen that passed away and I inherited their costumes, so those were also kind of vintage inspired. So it's kind of been my whole life is what I'm trying to say. I think I made a commitment to not be insecure about what other people thought about it, maybe in like 2016. I remember being in the car and thinking, man, I just realized that I can wear whatever I want. Like, you know, you come out of that like being in control of your parents in control of you, and you having school and people tell you what to wear, and it was like, oh, I'm like an adult now, I can wear whatever I want. So I started to get more into the vintage thing, and I don't know, it's weird to call it vintage because it's kind of classic, I would say, more than anything. Like, this is a modern shirt, you know, it's just, it looks classic. So long story, kind of my whole life, I'd say. And when I was little, my mom was dressing me, she liked me to look kind of 80s, so I feel like I've never been very modern. And it was for a while kind of hard for me because all the other little girls got to wear these like Britney Spears inspired outfits. I was so jealous. I remember I wanted platform sandals and halter tops and tube tops, and I wasn't allowed. So I was very sad because I had to wear like Goodwill clothes, and you know, it's funny how things like that can affect you as a kid. Just feeling kind of like other and thinking, well, okay, I'll just make my own kind of beauty. Because I had access to the thrift stores, and so I'd wear a lot of cool vintage things. Thanks, Mom. I know. Oh, I remember I wanted this little jumpsuit so badly. It was so Britney Spears, and it was so sad. that I couldn't get it, and I think about it all the time. I'm like, maybe if I had that, you know, who knows what would have happened. No, not really, but it is funny how we kind of always knew who we were. It just takes a while to kind of get there sometimes. I look like Gwen Stefani, you think so? I don't know if I can, maybe. I don't know if I see it, but I mean, she's beautiful, so thank you. I'm so Lana Del Rey viral Del Rey song. I don't know if I have a favorite. I think all of them.